Yo, what is going on everybody? Welcome back to a brand new video. In today's video we'll be doing a 2K special, being a Q&A. I'm sorry that I have been uploading too much, you guys. I've been trying to get out some new videos, but I've been held up with a lot of client work and all sorts of stuff like that, so sorry about that, but we'll definitely be getting some more uploads out soon. But for now we will chill with a 2K Q&A. So without further ado, let's get through some of the questions that you guys asked me over on Twitter. So first question is from Ozil Designs, and he says, where do you expect to go at designing, and explain where you are now? So where I expect to go, I don't really have any expectations set, but obviously I would like to make this a career, and I would like to pursue this full time and be able to make a living off this comfortably and not having like to work crazy hours just to sort of get by, you know. Enjoy what I'm doing for a living would be absolutely amazing. And where I'm at right now is I'm sort of in a position where I can take a lot of chances and try new things, try and make this a career, but at the moment it is not quite there. So a little bit more work, or a lot more than a little bit more work to put in, but I'm willing to grind and definitely, you know, work hard to make this something that I could do for a living. Next question is from Phantom, my man. Congrats on 2K. What are some designer moments that you are really proud of? Man, I got a fair few of those, but recently a massive design that absolutely blew up on Twitter being the JHB poster I did. Also probably the Nade Shot header I did where he quote retweeted it, followed me back, all that kind of stuff. That was crazy. Joining Obey for sure, that is definitely one of the biggest moments, and probably the phase adapt header that I made a long time ago, and recently being able to work with Duke Dennis, you know, just some really cool stuff. But yeah, those are probably some of the highlights that I can just think of off the top of the dome right now. But anyway, thank you so much for the question. Next question from Aditya. Is taking designing as a career a good option? What do you think about it? Well, I don't see it really as a bad career choice or so much of a good or bad option. It really depends on how you have positioned yourself financially and all that sort of stuff. So whether you've got another job to fall back on, or, you know, whether you've got a few things in place just in case design doesn't work. I think going balls to the wall with designing with no backup isn't a great idea. But definitely make sure that you are setting yourself up to have, you know, fallbacks and stuff like that just in case something bad happens. But I don't see it as being something bad to go for. Myself, I'm definitely wanting to make this a career, so I'm going to try as hard as I can to make it a reality. But I definitely have things in place so that if it doesn't work out, you know, I can still get by. But anyway, thank you so much for the question. Next question from Jacob. Jacob says, congrats on 2K subs. What would you say helped you the most develop your skills as a graphic design artist? Much love. Thank you so much, Jacob. Really appreciate that. And what I would say helped me the most develop my skills would probably be, one, practice. I know it's very obvious, but just constantly practicing and trying new things. 2, communicating with people within the community, asking questions, getting actual feedback, like really constructive sort of stuff. Even if it was sort of like, you know, this isn't done well, you just got to like push that stuff away and go, this is all for the better of me, making my craft better. So definitely taking some harsh criticism from other people that you look up to in the community, or just even your friends and peers. Always getting feedback on your working, making sure to go back and look over how you could have done things better. But pretty much just practicing, you know, it's really all about how much you want to try and improve, all that sort of stuff. But basically the biggest point out of all that would definitely be just practicing. Next question here from Senzo. Who are some designers that you look up to? Congrats on 2K. Thank you so much, my man. And some designers that I look up to within the community would probably be Garmin. He is absolutely crazy, easily one of my favorite designers. We got Mayoki, he's absolutely crazy too. I got like Nort, Crispy. There's heaps of people that I just like, I don't want to leave some out, but those are probably like the main sort of people, as you know, they're in like the manipulation sort of field and they just absolutely crush it. So I really love all those guys' work and I definitely look up to them a lot. Next question here from Brady. When was the turning point of designing for you? For example, was there a specific design that you made that really showed you that you could do this? Or was there someone who told you something that initiated the spark, something like that? I would say when you're a really small designer, it's sort of like, well, it was for me, and I know a lot of my friends in the community really early. it was like really hard to crack 100 likes on a design when you're a really small designer with a really small sort of brand and, you know, a really small sort of community around you, real small follower base, all that sort of stuff. It was really hard to crack 100 likes on a design, and that was just something I really aimed for, to, you know, really prove to myself and others that, you know, I could do this sort of stuff, and then people would actually appreciate the craft. And it was a header I made for Jason that was a first ever design to crack 100 likes. It was like some Friday the 13th Jason header, and from that point on, that was like a really small sort of point where I was like, all right, I can do this. We'll finally hit 100 likes on a design, you know, that's 100 people that like what I do. That really sort of motivated me to just keep going, and honestly from there we just kept going, and it's been crazy where I've got to now. But yeah, probably I'd say that was probably the point where I was like, all right, we can really do this. Only small, but you know, that's what comes to mind first. But thank you for the question, that was really good. Next question from Aspire Shine. How much of a positive influence are you in the community, and is there any type of design genre that people look up to you for? I'd say yeah, I'm definitely a positive influence. I don't really go out of my way to sort of, you know, go and say bad stuff on people's work. The only time I'm really saying anything that isn't like, oh, great work, it's like constructive criticism. I never go on someone's work and say, this is terrible, you should fix this is just terrible, you're a bad designer. It's always, try this, try that, this could look a little bit better, to try this, and you know, this could probably be done a little bit better. But it's never anything to downplay on anyone's work or anything. It's always constructive criticism. And yeah, I would definitely say the type of design genre that people look up to me for would be manipulation. That's sort of what I'm known for and what I've really sort of honed my skills into. So manipulation would definitely be the design genre that everyone sort of, you know, knows me for and looks up to me for. Hiccups GFX. How do you come up with ideas for posters and adverts, etc.? Also, congrats on 2K. Thank you, Hiccups. And damn, it's sort of hard to say. It just could be like a small thing. So if I'm completely out of ideas, I don't usually try and force it too much. But if like I'm really motivated to design but I don't actually have an idea, I either go look at some of the like people's work that I look up to the most, or I just go scroll through Behance, scroll through Twitter for a bit, you know, just sort of look around and see what everyone else is up to. That can sometimes spark a bit of inspiration, and then that leads to more motivation to design. But sometimes, you know, I'm just like out and about, walking around and just sort of thinking of ideas and stuff I could do, and, you know, just sort of brainstorming in my head, and you know, we just sort of come up with a few ideas and then get into Photoshop and see what we can actually create. So yeah, it's sort of a little bit complex, but I don't really have one or two ways to do it. It's just, yeah, sometimes it just comes to me, and then sometimes, you know, I gotta go out and find it. But anyway, thank you for that question, Hiccups. Rafi creates for the next question: how to market yourself in the community. That sounds more like a YouTube video title, but I know what you're saying, my guy, don't worry. So how do I market myself within the community, or how should you market yourself within the community? I would say the best way is to be positive. Make sure to show appreciation on everyone else's posts. Make sure you are always constantly talking to people in the community, trying to make friends and connections. Always be putting your hand up for work and making sure that you're doing the best you can to show like that you have a positive impact on the community. Mainly just trying to make friends with people, because then that makes more connections and that's more work for you. And to make sure you're always pushing out a positive and, you know, creative sort of brand that shows that you're different from everyone, and that you're always positive, you're not toxic or anything like that, and that you're not like complaining all the time. You got to be careful with what you put on the timeline, because that really affects your brand. Like complaining about stuff all the time and down talking other people, it's just not going to help yourself within the community. It just gives you a bad name. So definitely just being positive and trying to make as many friends as possible by leaving support and feedback on their work is definitely a great way to do it. But yeah, all those sort of things are definitely a good way to market yourself. Thank you for that question, Rafi. Next one is from Kesh. Congrats on 2K. What are your goals when you started designing? Thank you, Kesh. And my goals when I started designing, damn, that was a while ago, so they're not really fresh in my memory, but it was pretty much just to, you know, start doing this stuff, making a little bit of side cash and making sure that I enjoy it. Doing everything that I can to make sure that I enjoy what I'm doing, and also making a little bit of money along the way is also It's also good, but it's not always the main thing. You know, sometimes I just want to sit down and design. I'm not always thinking about money. But definitely the goal was just to build up a big fan base, you know, meet some new people online, have some fun, and, you know, make some cash pretty much. But yeah, thank you for that question. Next one here is from Gaming with FC. What do you like to do in graphic designing? I mean, like manipulations or thumbnails, etc. I don't really like to limit myself to anything. So I pretty much, yeah, I like to do all sorts of stuff. Clean, professional, you know, manipulation, all sorts of stuff. Headers, thumbnails, stream packages, posters, you name it. I've probably given it a go, you know. Matte paintings, all that kind of stuff. I like to try everything out. No, just because there's no point limiting yourself to, oh, I can only do headers or I can only do advertisements. It's just, you know, it just sort of limits yourself and your brand, all that sort of stuff. So I really like to try new stuff and branch out for sure. Thank you for that question though. Next question here is from KYP #NorthGF. What's your opinion on making designs on phone? Can we become successful by making designs, or is it just a phone? By the way, I love your works. Thank you, man. And yeah, of course you can become successful on mobile. I know there is a lot of limitations, so you probably can't go as successful, I would say, as on PC just because of the limitations of mobile. But yeah, there's no reason why I can't see people on mobile being successful. There's some really talented people who are on mobile, and you know, they use the iPad and stuff like that, and they're just absolutely crazy, like even better than PC designers. So I definitely say there's nothing holding you guys back. You guys are all super talented, and don't let being on mobile, you know, sort of define you as a designer. You guys are all crazy. Next question from KCP Israel. What was your starting point and made you want to get into graphic design? Well, I was really bad at Call of Duty, and I didn't like having the same YouTube banner when I used to make YouTube videos. So I learned how to make my own stuff, own thumbnails, all that sort of stuff, and then it pretty much just left from there. So it was pretty much just being too bad at Call of Duty to actually join as teams as snipers, so I just joined as designers instead. That seemed to work out a lot better, so yeah, that pretty much sparked it all. And then after learning thumbnails and stuff, you know, we started thinking, oh, I'm not bad at this, see if I can make some cash, and yeah, we went from there. Oh, baby, my guy. If you could share some tips for new designers entering the community, what would they be? This is a great question. So, my tips would be, try not to follow design trends too heavily. Be extremely positive and friendly to everyone. Show lots of support to everyone you can. That's probably the best way to build up a sort of community of your own. And yeah, just make sure to be as active as possible. That's what I would say. Make lots of designs for other people rather than just yourself. That's a great way to market yourself to other people. But just be positive, try and make friends, be very social and active, I'd say, to start it off. But yeah, that'd probably be my design tips. Next question here is from Dendo. Who do you reckon is going to be the next big content creator? This one's tough. Honestly, one of my mates, Jaden, he goes hard, grinding all the time. I could definitely see him being big in the future, definitely grinding really hard, and he's super active and very positive. Great sort of bloke, always spreading positivity, so I could definitely see him doing good. Definitely Lazy. Lazy is a dude who's absolutely crazy. Super chill dude, really great. And probably one other person would be Parallel Jinsu. He's like pretty big already, but I can definitely see him going absolutely crazy in the future, like phase level. So big ups to him. But yeah, there's probably some of the people I can see being the next big content creators. Question here from Loki. When you started, did you ever think that you'd get to where you are right now? Not really, to be honest. When I first started, I just sort of made, you know, random stuff for myself every now and then, and made my own banners and thumbnails for my YouTube videos. So I wasn't really ever thinking big picture back then, and I had really no idea what I was doing within the community. Just like did random stuff, and if it wasn't for my mate Red, who introduced me to like all the COD teams and stuff, I probably would have never got into the community. So big ups to him for where I am now, pretty much. So that is pretty much every single question. I think I might have missed one or two, but there was quite a few questions, but I do appreciate all that. But once again, thank you so much for 2,000 subscribers. Make sure to stay up to date on the channel because more uploads will be coming in the future for sure. I love all you guys so much and thank you for watching the video. It's been your boy Jordan. Peace and I'm out.